we're going to look at two examples on 1.3. This is 1.3 number 12 in the book. These are the same instructions as the homework in the book for this section. We are going to sketch an angle in standard position, and then we are going to find the values of the 6 trigonometric functions, and we are given the point -12, -5. So the sketch of that angle remember how we sketch an angle? We rotate the positive angle, we rotate counterclockwise. Plot the point, -12 on the x, -5 on the y. Show the rotation, that is the sketched angle. So we have the ordered pair -12, -5, so we know the x value is -12. And we know the y value is -5. But we don't have the radius. So these trig function definitions involve an x, which is the horizontal component, a y, which is the vertical component, and r, which is the radius from the origin. So we know the equation of a circle with radius r is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. That's an important equation to remember. So if we know x and we know y, but we need to figure out r, we can use the equation in the circle to create an equation with a single unknown. That single unknown is r. So -12 the quantity squared plus -5 the quantity squared equals r squared. So -12 times -12 is 144, -5 times -5 is 25. So r squared would be 169, and after we simplify, skipped a couple steps of arithmetic there, the radius is 13. Now that we know x, y, and r, we can take a look at the definitions of the trig functions. These definitions are on page 22 of the book, and you've already got those down in your notes. I'm sorry, they're on page 23 of the book, and you've already got them down in your notebook. So sine is y over r, so y is -5, and r is 13. Cosine is x over r, so -12 over 13. Tangent of theta is y over x, so that's -5 over -12, which simplifies to 5 over 12. Cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, so its definition is x over y. Secant theta is the reciprocal of cosine, so its definition is r over x. So 13 over -12, which is the same thing as -13 over 12, personal preference on where that negative sign goes. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, so its definition is r over y. So the radius is 13, the y value is -5, and this is the completed problem. This is everything that you would show in your homework. This is the exact answer that you would show when asked this question on the test. What I want to mention real quick is in this homework section, which is the problem start on page 28, in this homework section, questions 51, starting at 51, the only difference between question 51 and question 11 is that in question 11 you are given the point, in 51 you are given a line and a condition on x, and you have to find a point. So if you, back in algebra, you find a point by choosing an x value, plugging it in, and getting a y value. So on 51, you're going to pick an x value that is greater than 0, since it says greater than 0, plug that into 2x plus y equals 0, get a y value, then you have an ordered pair, and it's exactly the same process as what we just did in the previous example. So having said that, if you can do the previous example that we just did, which is number 12, there's just one little algebra step to do problems 51 through 62. So we're going to take a look at finding the exact value of the sine of 90 degrees based on what we have learned up to this point. So you are going to know these exact values by heart, I promise. But right now we're going to we are going to learn these with the information we have, so we can kind of see where these exact values come from and better practice the function definitions. So you need to know the definitions. That needs to be ingrained into your brain. The definition of the sine of theta is y over r. So let's take a look at a 90-degree angle. There's theta equals 90 degrees. Now we can pick any point on the line segment that has that 90-degree angle, and that point is x comma y. So what is x? Well, 90-degree angle puts us exactly on the y-axis. So x is 0 on the y-axis. Okay, what's the y value though? Well, remember that we have x, y, and r. R is the radius, so the radius from 0, 0 to whatever point. It doesn't matter what point we are choosing, because any point on the y-axis up here with a 90-degree angle, y and r are the same thing. So if I were to take a tape measure from here to whatever this point is, that is the y, because it's vertical and on the y-axis, and it is also the radius at 90 degrees. So y equals r. So if we did the sine of 90 degrees, we need to know the definition, y over r, but remember, r and y are the same thing, so I could just rewrite that as y over y, and y over y is 1. Now that's going to help you get better with the x, y, r definitions, but by the time you get to the test, you are just going to be getting function values that are on the axes using the unit circle, and we'll talk about that more next time.